Okay, here's another game of Infinite Crisis coming your way. This time with Poison Ivy in the bot lane. You can see my team on the bottom, enemy team on the top. And this is the other game they recorded with Armora, so I'll be supporting him as I mentioned, and well, hopefully we don't feed, right? So just like last time, I'm recording this one after the fact, and I'll go into details in a second.
Oh yeah.
Teleport to Lost Sector Coast City complete.
So Poison Ivy, I went for the classic skin. I don't remember where I got it. I think it was I don't know.
The match begins in
Somewhere
30 seconds.
somewhere at some time it was given away and I grabbed it. But Poison Ivy, the thing about her is I can never remember what her ult does. Even right now after having played her, I still can't remember. Recording this post-game commentary, the game has already ended, I know how it's going to play out, and yeah, I can't remember how her ult works exactly. I know it's a train type thing. I think it's like damage over time.
Match initiating.
But for Poison Ivy, your passive gives you this little healing train after you cast 4 spells. I think it scales off of your will, which is why I'm going for the OA gambit, and then I'm going to go... 1 second. So I'm going for the OA gambit. I also want to get the Lantern, the Eye of Ekron. Those are your general will items to take advantage of the support's usual will scaling.
First blood.
So right there we got first blood on Katana.
Executed to perfection.
And I used the healing wave in that fight.
Online in 10 seconds.
So
Drones operational.
right there was a test to see if my spells could actually damage the turrets.
Phasing complete.
Long story short, no, they cannot. Now, one of the problems we have is
defeated an enemy.
early game Poison Ivy just doesn't have the cooldowns to spam. So this unfortunately does mean that I can't get my passive off as easily. So Mora went down, I looped around to get to safety up here.
Back to base.
And it's fine for Joker to last hit here because I have the gambit to give him a better return, even though I am siphoning off a small portion of it.
Yes.
So Q is a linear skill shot. If you can push Q again to detonate it early, but if it travels the max distance it still erupts. Knocks up the enemies, does some damage. I think I maxed that last.
I am alone.
W is your blind. By increasing the rank, the duration goes up as well. I don't know if the actual damage reduction goes as well. The way blinds work in Infinite Crisis is different from League. It's not that they cause you to completely miss your target, kind of like how Teemo and Quinn work. I think those are the only 2 characters with blinds. But it just causes attacks to do less damage, and I don't know if it's restricted to just physical attacks or if it also includes magic attacks like Lex Luthor stuff. So one neat thing here is Luthor's turrets have 2 hit points. They go down in 2 hits. Both Beetle and I are ranged, so if he drops a turret, the 2 of us can instantly focus it and take it down immediately. As a result of that, Luthor is going to have a much harder time trying to contribute to this lane, since we can just turn around and disable the core part of his entire moveset. So that's the W. I went ahead and picked up the Lantern here. Your E is a type of shield. It will mitigate damage. I don't remember if it works like Atomic Poison Ivy's, but I think the enemy loses attack speed for attacking the shielded target. And in the event the shield actually is not destroyed, then it heals the ally for something like 3/4, or I don't remember if it's 1/2 or 3/4 of the health on the shield. I know it's not a 1-to-1, it might be a half.
It's harvest time.
And then as for the ult, I still don't remember it, and I don't want to go check the wiki real quick, but I will be using it so you can kind of see it in action when the time comes. So this is a heavy harass lane on both sides. The thing that we have going to our advantage is that I have a lot more utility than Luthor does, and Beetle is more mobile than Joker. So Luthor, everything around him has to do with his turrets, his passive, the way his moves can modify them. And oh, there's Katana. And it's not like he has a shield or a heal to contribute, so we have the advantage in the long term because I can keep Beetle topped off.
Operational in 30 seconds.
Then in the event that a skirmish takes place, I can use my W and my E to just skew things in our favor by taking away the enemy's damage and their attack speed. And if they move in a predictable pattern, I can even just outright knock them up using the Q. Like that. So right there is Lex's passive, the neural network. When he drops a turret, it will link to the other ones. The energy link will damage enemies that happen to be there. And he can also use one of his abilities on the turret, and all of the turrets connected will be modified accordingly. So Katana's here, and you can see we had little trouble booking her ass down. Right there was a test to see if I could perhaps proc the passive on Beetle if he used his W, but no, he himself has to proc it. No one else can help him. Unless that help is like CC to stun the enemy, hold them in place, stuff like that. That's a little different. So right there is my passive, the healing field. Beetle is going to jump in and whenever it pops up to give him a little bit of health. Sadly, I'll be maxing that third, so there's going to be as much of a return on it. So you can see he went for the Coda Blade. He doesn't have any sustain here, like innate sustain, I mean like lifesteal or vials. And the reason why he can get away with that is because of my E and my passive. So when you have a true support, you can do that. It's just, it's very rare to see Harley and Ivy get picked. Hopefully that will change once I start ranked play. This is the last game that I recorded before ranked was enabled. I decided to sit out the first week so that those that were really gung-ho about it can just go ahead. I figured I'd let it stratify a bit and then make my move from there. So that does mean the first set of games may be kind of stompy. I can't really help that since I decided to wait. There's a chance I can run into someone just like myself, yes. That might produce an interesting game for you guys, but just a heads up on what's to come. And I think for the first ranked game, I actually will do the whole pick and ban phase, so we can show that to those who aren't able to play ranked mode just yet. It's a little different from League of Legends. Instead of there being 3 bans, there's only 2 because the devs actually just flat outright said it. There's 6 marksman types in the game. If you went beyond the 2 per team, you could actually ban out all the marksmen or put the enemy in a situation where they would not be able to have one. So if you're wondering what I mean by that, so how should I put it? If the team with first pick chooses on their first ban, not to ban a marksman. Let's say they want to ban Nightmare Robin because they don't like assassins. And then the enemy team bans Cyborg. So the first team can respawn by banning, well, let's say Mecha Wonder Woman, then Blue Beetle gets banned, then Green Arrow, then Atomic Joker. That leaves, at the very end of the phase, only Gaslight Batman, and the first pick team can grab him, and then the other team is out of luck in terms of AD carries.
Radar. Phasing complete.
So that's why we have 2. For the other roles, there's quite a bit more diversity, but I'm kind of hoping maybe Dexstar, one of the upcoming characters, will be an AD carry type. The next character to be released is planned to be Solomon Grundy, so he's an enforcer type. Nightmare Catwoman's also on the list, Dexstar, the Red Lantern Cat,
I really am.
and there were 2 other ones. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Enemy power relay unlocked.
But out of those, Solomon Grundy is supposed to be the closest one to release. Nightmare Catwoman's supposed to be the one with the least amount of progress. If you're interested, there are links you could follow to actually check.
Enemy defeated.
To return to the game for a moment, I guess I delayed the Eye of Ekron in favor of the slow from the Atlantean Royal Seal. So this would mean the blind will actually cut into the enemy's DPS as well as their mobility. And in the case of Atomic Joker, who has no dash, jump, blink, whatever, it could very well kill him. Just because he could be caught out of position, unable to move to safety.
Device activated.
Okay, going back on the topic of the games from the channel. I don't remember how long all the games I record for this weekend are. They're fairly short, I think. Hopefully you guys don't mind, but I think due to the players that are able to play ranked, the less prepared, or the newer players who are less familiar with the game are the ones left in the current blind pick mode, and as a result, the games are not that interesting to watch. It's just you get tossed in a lane with someone who barely knows how to play, and you just beat them into the ground.
Had to stop you, Luthor.
We did.
Up until now, I've said enough about the whole attack speed builds, AD carry, to where you guys are probably sick of it, but when you're up against one of those and enemy jungler just doesn't pay attention to you, it's kind of it for that character. So right there I used my ult. I wanted to tank the tower a bit to try to get my allies to safety. Flash got Hawkgirl at the cost of his life.
I'm going.
And
Back to
who else is out there?
Enemy defeated.
Our Hawkgirl got Atomic Green Lantern, but I don't know if she gets to safety. She should be faster than Joker, but yeah, right there she turned around and that's the death of her.
I am nature's
Oh, maybe not.
Back to base.
Okay, it might be a later dive. That kind of goes wrong. So right here I'm topping off Armora. This way he can go just trade with the Joker again. I can help with the DPS, like right there I absorbed the Joker E. I went ahead and dropped the shield, I poked him with the blind. Just a bunch of small stuff that's going to skew the upcoming trade in Beetle's favor.
Enemy defeated.
So right there he jumped into the healing field. Would be nice if I could kind of control that a little bit better, like maybe I could use the Q to position a distance from Ivy instead of always having to erupt around her. I don't know.
Soul Digger hungers for your soul.
So Flash went a little deep there, but looks like he's not going to be punished for it.
All growing things are mine.
Sadly, Beetle and I don't have the CC to actually lock someone down inside of his ult. I'd have to be Nightmare Superman or Nightmare Batman for that to be ideal. Yeah, we don't actually have much CC on this team, do we? Hawkgirl has a silence, Flash has slows, Beetle and I have slows. I have a knockup, but yeah. And top lane is Joker, so yeah, I didn't actually realize how light the CC here was.
Our top turret is under attack.
So I guess if
Power
nothing
relay
else,
unlocked.
it's just that we have such high damage potential that we might just be able to blow someone up before they get a chance to escape.
Ally power relay unlocked.
So right there I have the seal finished.
Very well.
Yeah, I definitely had to get the Atlantean Royal seal here just to try to keep enemies inside Joker's ult or flashes as long as possible.
Enemy defeated.
So Flash gets to safety, Beetle arrives, Hawkgirl's there, Luthor whiffed his ult, and I wanted to get over here just to start dropping shields, but
An ally
they blew
is
Luthor the hell
relentless.
up. On the other hand, that does mean we
Are
get to
you
take their
playing
relay,
hard to get?
and being able to take it this early is just devastating.
New power relay operational in 30
Ah, I didn't get any gold off of that. That was one of the things I wanted to check in the video.
Captured a power relay.
See if him pulling me
Power
actually
relay
cost me.
captured.
That's supposed to be something that was
Yes.
fixed as of the patch to where near the radius where you still get gold has increased. It's just, this was my last game recorded before
New
the
power
patch.
relay operational in 10 seconds. We've captured a power relay.
So that's two. We now have the
Elite
super drones in the
enabled
top.
in top
I
lane.
can go ahead and drop the camera there so you might be able to catch someone trying to move in. And Joker's in a bit of a bad spot. Good news is he took out Katana. I got to drop my shield there to keep him alive from
Captured a
Hawkgirl.
power relay. Power relay
And
captured.
just like that,
Elite
down goes
drones
Hawkgirl.
enabled in both lanes.
And 15-minute elite
Double
drones
kill.
is just brutal. I think Luthor might be the only guy who has a chance of actually having some wave clear against them. It's way too early for the AD carries to actually have that, and as a result they have to pay in turrets just to stay in the game. So Flash is suffering from the radiation sickness. I wanted to give him my shield to kind of mitigate that, but there are limits to what I can and can't do. So healing field for Kendra, not Shiera.
What's the hurry?
And I wonder if her voice actress is the actress from
An ally is relentless.
Flash show. We'll have to see.
Double kill.
So I'm not entirely sure how I got the assists on the two up there, but I kept the Atomic Green Lantern out of the fight as best as I could. Like, I can use the shield to mitigate the radiation sickness, and then I can just discourage him from following me. And worst come to worst, even if not for the shield, I still had the healing wave in reserve. There was really no way he was going to kill me. I just had to keep him out of the fight. So there we go. I have
I'm on
Ekron.
my way.
The enemy's top turret.
The other nice thing about that is it'll give me movement speed so I can get around since I don't have any escapes of my own.
The enemy's bottom
And that
turret
also means I can
is
get in and out of the
destroyed.
frame more easily.
Turret destroyed.
So their bot went down, and it's
Okay.
really a matter of time before the top does. You really don't want to lose all three relays when they first come up, because that actually can be an immediate game ender if you don't have someone with a lot of wave clear like Stargirl, Arcane Supergirl, stuff like that. The duty falls to the top laner, and not all top laners are equal.
Ally is ferocious.
Harvest time.
What are you up to, Joker?
So right here we got some poke down on Hawkgirl, but the entire enemy team shows up and we have to bounce. Joker, on the other hand, makes a pretty nasty move with his little toy doll, and it does work in his favor, as you can see Hawkgirl going down.
An ally
And of
is
course, while we were serving as a
dominating.
distraction, the team went in there and got the Doomsday Guardian, so we can go ahead and drop the Doomsday device.
Taken the Doomsday device.
In less than 20 minutes, and all the enemy's towers are down. We also have the EMP, or whatever you want to consider the Doomsday device exactly. This is definitely one of those scenarios where you may as well throw in the towel, because there's very little you can do to get back into the game. And it's all contingent upon either the enemy messing up really bad, like 3 or 5 times in a row,
Mercy
just
isn't in my nature.
an opportune DC happening to give you a team fight or something. So, Doomsday Device, that did connect to the core. Wasn't a direct hit, but I don't think that really matters. So right there I dropped my healing wave, I did the healing field on my passive, and it's just all about trying to keep my buddy more alive. So right there's the healing field for him. He can hopefully get like 100 hit points off of that.
Falling back.
Hopefully maybe a little bit more, but I'm trying to be a little realistic here.
Very well.
Okay, we failed to take the core with that set of 3.
Still the fastest man in the world and still single? Thought so.
So freaking mean. So they managed to stay in the game despite us taking all 3 a moment ago. The problem is that cost them all of their towers to do that, and they are in no position to actually contest any of these. So we're free to go ahead and take all 3 again, and there's not really anything they can do. It's just completely out of their hands.
Captured a power relay. Elite drones enabled in top lane.
So right there, the whole Eye of Ekron, and I can work on the Cosmic Staff.
Elite drones.
That will help me burn through any of their allies, or any member of their team that decides to go a little bit tanky, plus CDR, so I can get more of my passive fields out. Not to mention more shields are always nice.
I fight for nature, not you.
And here's where the game's going to start winding down with around 2 minutes remaining. Before the whole video ends, that is.
Yes.
So the Atomic Green Lantern is kind of tanky. I can try to poke him down. Right here I'm sharing some of the damage from Katana. That way it doesn't kill either one of us. And even if things did get dicey, I still have my healing wave, don't forget.
Enemy defeated.
I hope you can
So
find
that's
peace
one
now.
down.
Sorry it went this way.
Isn't Flash a great guy? Right there I dropped my ult to keep Katana at bay. And you can see that it did very little, but it allowed us to get maybe 25% of the core's health down before they came back out.
Witness nature's wrath.
It's everything.
Timers aren't really long enough right now, but like I was saying, they are relying on Luthor to clear, and as long as we take out his cannons, he can't do that. And then it's just a matter of time before the base goes down. Like that. So you got to see Ivy support, I got to talk a little bit about what's coming for the channel, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let's look at our scorecard. No time to rust because I didn't die. Level 3 Ivy. And you can see I did not die. Most assists. I don't have most gold or kills, but seeing as I'm building support-like, that's the way things are supposed to be. As for this, you can see my damage. Once I got the Cosmic Staff, I'd be a little bit more dangerous, but I was building utility here. So, if there's anything else you want to see here, you can pause it, you can check out the various builds. If there's anything else that I want to say, that will be in the description, so check that out. So, until next time, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.